So that's our guest this morning. Dr. Soji Isreal is a US-based Nigerian gospel singer. He is a certified musicologist from the prestigious Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, and he's known for his hit songs Wonder Wonder and Babaye, and has also released several songs to his credit. And please,
it's not that Wonder Wonder. This is another one.
Which Wonder Wonder?
The Femi Kuti one.
That's where I was going. It's not that one. It is the one that you sing in church. Okay, yes, that's true. You don't sing Femi Kuti's Wonder Wonder in church.
No, you don't.
Exactly. So, Soji Isreal, thank you for joining us today. I'm wondering what time of day it is in your neck of the woods right now.
Man, you know what? No, I murdered sleep, just to be on this program. It's a privilege, though. I'm good to see you again.
Well, we are not seeing you yet. This is virtual seeing. But there's a conversation we have had privately, and I think it might be a good place to put it. And I'm just going to, jump right into it because I don't think we have so much time to play with. And that is the issue of ownership of songs in our part of the world.
Okay.
Back then, when we had an industry, we hosted Charlie Boy last week, and we raised the same issue about the music industry in Nigeria. We don't seem to have it the way we had it back then with the P-Man and the big labels in Nigeria at the time. So it becomes a little more difficult to append the name to the song, who owns the song. For instance, this song, your song Wonder Wonder, there's a new one out there now, I'm sure you know about it, and a number of people are wondering, hey, that's an amazing song, but only for them to be told, if ever, that no, that's not the original, writer of the song, and all of that. So where are we on that? If you can just, first of all, how much of a challenge is that? And where are we, especially in the entire music industry in Nigeria, gospel music no less, to say, okay, this is how this song is, or this is who owns this song, and all of that?
Okay. The question is quite simple to answer. However, there are different branches to because I believe in preferring solutions and not dwelling on problems. First of all, we have a society, we have a system that is not, I think it's just a basic Nigerian thing where we attempt things and they seemingly do not work out. You mentioned an industry. The truth is we never had an industry. We attempted to have one. And when we would have had one, it was the foreigners who came to invest in our space to create all the EMIs of this world, the Sony records, Sony music of this world. Then they tried to transform. The ivory came and tried to do something good until, the Nigerian, paralytic syndrome. I want to put it that way. Nigeria, we specialize in trying to cripple everything that tries to walk. It's like some people just take delight. In my language, I think my language has a word for that. It's like some people just take delight. They get enriched when things are not working well. So, no, when things work well, it doesn't go. Like to be sincere, a lot of people have tried to make, they're astute musicians in Nigeria. We talk about Charlie Boy, God bless his heart. These are people who have loved, tell me, what is a hit of Charlie Boy? What song did he sing? You can't even remember. But his heart has been in the music scene, in the music terrain. He's had a heart for it, and that is his own contribution. That is what God has made him to be in that industry, that kind of a cushion that somebody who, a system constructor, people like Tony Okoroji, these are people who tried to make this. I remember Tony pioneered, the COSA, Copyright Society of Nigeria. And, amazingly, I was trying to register my songs on ASCAP, and ASCAP sent a message to me that I'm registered on COSA, which means that COSA is an internationally recognized body. So if you have a COSA in Nigeria, you have a BMI, you have an ASCAP, you're good. But what is the awareness level? And of course, what is the system? How does the system fight for you? These are the things. And also, we have a culture of, we have a lot of talented people in Nigeria. And, one of the things that have really made the gospel music, to be very porous is the Soji revivals that we do. The fact that, you see, we write songs, we want to share them, then you go to a function, you share your song, and somebody just takes a pen or something like that, and takes your song and goes to record the song. Recently there was this thing about, am I good? There's another message coming in. There's this thing about, okay, if somebody singing a song and the song, people accepting it, somebody else coming and say, oh, I wrote that song, and the thing is this, the system is the problem.
Okay.
How do we solve
it? In identifying the challenge as being the system, how then, since you talked about, solving the problem as opposed to raising the issue, the challenges, and as you said, there are very many musicians in the country today, but let's focus on your space, which is gospel music. And even that, space has had its own challenges as well. And there are still very...
It's been the most porous because we use the God caveat to nail things.
Explain, please, explain.
Oh, yeah. We use, God gave it to us. But forgetting that an inspiration born out of a man is his identity, is his life, is his soul. God gave it to you. It's just like saying God gave you a child. Then anybody can mess up with a child. A song is like a child. It's carrying your soul. That is you. And so we should give that, accord the right for intellectual property. First of all, people should grow to respect people's intellectual integrity. We should develop that sense of regard. One thing for me, some people tried in changing people's. They take a melody and change the words and they say they've written a song. I'm like, how did you change a melody and you say you wrote a song? That's not cool. That melody itself is the song. Anybody can speak words. So we should have a system where people understand what this thing really is and give respect, accord respect to, intellectual property. That's the first way to go.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Isreal,
Yes, ma'am.
why did you study music? We have had many musicians in the studio, and very few of them have actually studied music. We've had lawyers, we've had engineers, and we always laugh. So why did you bother to go and study law? But you just went straight and studied music. What was the influence there?
Okay, now I didn't go straight to study music because back in the days it was not it was not really the thing. So music generally, to be a music practitioner, you don't really have all the regard. Even the Sunny days and your Obeys that were, making the money when we were younger, they called them Alagbe, So music didn't have the prestige that we have. But you see, academic music, by the way, is different from, music, on the streets. So for me, I've been I've been playing music for 40 years now. I started as a young church drummer in 1981. And so all my life, I've been in the corridors. My parents played music. My dad's a pastor, and my mom sings. Everything. So I grew up in a church. So I picked up one instrument and another and all that stuff. So it's my gifting. But along the way, I realized that I had a lot to do with music. I want something else.
Hmm.
But when I got into what you see, the white collar terrain in the early 90s. I tried to work. I got a job at Calgary. It was very fun.
Hmm.
I would leave my desk. I run to the bathroom to make a song. So I realized that no, my natural habitat is not an office where I'm making money. It is a place, a space where I'm birthing, things from my soul.
Okay.
And that's the reason why I pursue that.
All right. So we have just a few minutes to sign out, but you continue to make music where you are right now, a life
Yes,
coach,
sir.
motivational speaker, and all of that. The next question I would want to ask is that of mentorship of those who would also want to follow your tracks. To use the words from the previous conversation, generational migration of the philosophies that you represent. Do you have influences from your past? I think sometimes you talked about your dad. And what kind of influences are you also passing on to who so that the trajectory is unbroken that you have set for yourself?
Well, to the glory of God, I'm a young man in my own right, but in my few days around here, I can boast of, not boast now, I can confidently point at, even right now, people you call, big artists in Nigeria that have passed through me one way or the other. I, there's virtually no one right here today in Nigeria who's a gospel artist who did not pick an influence from a Soji Israel somewhere, somehow. And I give glory to God for that. In fact, there are some of them that were very direct, followed our tracks, followed particularly me, and are still doing that all over the world. I do not take that for granted. I see that as a gift from God and God's investment in me being a point of, of, of blessing to others. So, and we're still continuing. I mean, we're just starting, really. For me, it's just starting. I'm just getting on my mark, getting ready to take the bill. So, yeah, there's been a whole lot. I won't mention names, but the truth is, there's averagely, I mean, there are some of them who virtually calls me, mental, you know, saying it out and all of that stuff. So, well, somebody may come up here one day and say, "Oh, so Israel affected me one way or the other." Let them say it by themselves. But I'm certain that a lot of them, in my 30 years of thereabout of playing church music, So I mean, it's a long time, so a lot of people got up here and there, and we give glory to God.
Is Soji Israel a Yoruba man?
Soji Israel is an Iyon eating Ekiti man.
Is it what?
Iyon eating Ekiti man. Iyon loving
Inyo
Ekiti
eating.
man.
Inyo
Pounded yam
eating
eating.
Ekiti. Okay. So where did the name Israel come from?
Okay, Israel, of course we know Israel is a Jewish name. Now, because of my poor-mindedness, I don't even like Jewish names. I don't like Bible names. I'm sorry. If you can ask me, people who don't understand what I said, just don't pick them from that. You can ask me to explain later. But I believe in my tradition. I love being a Yoruba person. I pride myself in my origin. You know, uh, so like all my kids, I don't mean children, Anna, blah blah blah. But the Israel is my father's first name, given to him. My real the family name is Ojegele, but I get too
Oje-
many
So,
Ojegele. Yeah.
okay.
Yes, I'm sure I still even remember when we're trying to form the image, there's still some of our cities that we use that compound name, you know. for. So just for simplicity and for the honor of my dad is the reason why I use Israel, because that is the first name that was given to him by his own parents.
Right. So why did you check out? Would that be telling?
Because I'm Andrew.
Ah, okay. You see, guilty. You did an Andrew on us.
You don't like the truth, do you? You don't want the truth. You see, the truth is, you see, at the point in time, when we ask, why do you, I was doing well in Nigeria, to be sincere. I mean, when you play your music in Nigeria to a point where people negotiate to have you for ₦1 million, I mean, that means you've done well. And then, but the system, sometimes when you don't want to think about yourselves alone, you want to think about your growing kids and how you can make them have what they want or what they need so you can do what a father should do. Our system does not give us that cushion, does not give us that opportunity. Our system doesn't give that opportunity to us, to be able to do that.
Okay.
So so for real, it's just greener pastures for real, and for stability.
Well, thanks for being honest.
And let me also hope that is an inspired checking out. Let's not go into that right now. But we have to thank you very much, Soji Isreal. Many people, as you say, may continue to reference you as being an influence on them, but at the same time, so those who do not know the face would mistake the face, if that is not put out. So we just want to wish you well and trust that God, who you have been depending on, will continue to be your powerhouse, as you have often said. Thank you very much for being a part of our program this morning, Dr. Soji.
Guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for the honor. Thank you, Channels TV. I love Nigeria. Don't get it twisted. And I pray that things will get better as we all put our hands on deck.
Okay.
We all say amen to that.
Yes, and our regards to that other interested party who in the background.
Popped in and popped out again. Thank you very much for joining us today. And
okay.
And there you go. It's a wrap for today. Thank you very much for being a part of today's program. We'll bring you a fresh one next week, God being our strength. I am Alero Idu, wishing you a happy weekend indeed and a blessed week.
I'm Ayo Makinde. It's very, very cold out there, so be careful and have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.